Are the Lakers really about to embark on another win-now frenzy, chasing ghosts of rivals past while simultaneously slamming the door on a legitimate long-term solution? Or is this just the wild, unpredictable symphony of an NBA offseason tuning up, setting the stage for moves that could either ignite a championship run or send the purple and gold spiraling into deeper chaos? Buckle up, basketball fanatics, because the Los Angeles Lakers are once again at the epicenter of the NBA's dizzying offseason drama. After a playoff exit that felt less like a stumble and more like a faceplant, the urgency in Hollywood is palpable. We're talking about a team with LeBron James and Luka Dončić, a duo that on paper should be unstoppable. Yet, their first-round defeat at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves was a stark, painful reminder. Two superstars, even legendary ones, aren't enough to hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy. The Lakers roster, despite its high-profile additions, revealed gaping holes, glaring weaknesses that Minnesota ruthlessly exploited. So, as the dust settles on another disappointing playoff campaign, the Lakers are clearly gearing up for a dramatic summer. They need more than just star power. They need depth, cohesion, and players who can actually contribute beyond the box score. And in their desperate search for answers, they might just be turning to the unlikeliest of places, the very locker room of their fiercest rival, the Boston Celtics. But here's where it gets truly wild. While one door might be opening for a familiar face, another, potentially franchise-altering door has been emphatically slammed shut. The idea itself feels almost sacrilegious to some, a betrayal of the purest rivalry in sports. Yet whispers from the betting world suggest the unthinkable. The Los Angeles Lakers are eyeing a former Boston Celtics fan favorite, a defensive maestro who once bled green. We're talking about Marcus Smart. Smart, traded from Boston 2 years ago, now finds himself in an odd spot with the Washington Wizards. It's a team in flux, with little apparent use for the fiery guard who embodies the grit and defensive intensity of the Celtics. And guess who's emerged as a leading contender for his services? None other than the Los Angeles Lakers. Bovada, the renowned oddsmaker, has placed the Lakers with the second highest odds of acquiring Smart, sitting at plus 200. Only the Sacramento Kings at plus 150 are considered more likely. The very idea sends shivers down the spine of Celtics fans and raises eyebrows among Lakers faithful. Smart, a former Defensive Player of the Year, was instrumental in multiple deep playoff runs for Boston, including their 2022 NBA Finals appearance. He's a pit bull on defense, a relentless competitor, and a proven winner. However, there's a massive caveat here, a flashing red light on the Lakers' radar. Since being traded from Boston in 2023, Smart has appeared in a combined 54 games over the last 2 seasons. That's a concerning trend for a player who plays with such high intensity. Can a healthy Marcus Smart still be the disruptive force he once was? Could he bring that much-needed defensive tenacity to a Lakers squad that often looked porous on that end of the floor? If healthy, a player of Smart's caliber could undeniably help LA. But that if healthy is carrying a lot of weight these days. Imagine the headlines. Marcus Smart, the heart and soul of Boston's defense for years, now donning the purple and gold. It's a storyline rife with drama, potential redemption, and perhaps a touch of desperation from a Lakers front office hungry for immediate results. While the Marcus Smart rumors swirl, another, arguably more significant, report has surfaced, putting a definitive end to a different, albeit more ambitious trade fantasy for the Lakers. The search for a productive big man has been a top priority since the Lakers astonishingly traded away Anthony Davis in the now infamous Luka Dončić deal. Look, let's be honest, nearly every team in the league would have pulled the trigger on that Dončić trade. But it left a gaping hole at center, forcing the Lakers to play smaller, with players like Dorian Finney-Smith and Rui Hachimura often filling the void, a strategy that proved utterly unsustainable in the playoffs. With the Memphis Grizzlies making stunning moves recently, including the Desmond Bane trade, speculation ran rampant. Were the Grizzlies looking to hit the reset button, perhaps even trade their remaining stars like Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr.? For Lakers fans dreaming of a long-term solution at center, Jackson Jr. seemed like a perfect fit, a former Defensive Player of the Year, a modern big man with shooting touch and rim protection. But ESPN's Brian Windhorst, a man known for his deep connections within the league, has unequivocally shut down that dream. When asked if Jaren Jackson Jr. could be an option for the Lakers, Windhorst's response was definitive: no chance. No chance. Absolutely not worth a discussion. His reasoning is simple, yet powerful. Look, I think Jaren Jackson is now in a position to sign a contract extension of over $200 million. I would feel very strongly that that's going to happen. This isn't just Windhorst's opinion, it's a reflection of the Grizzlies' long-term vision. It seems Memphis wants to build their future around Jackson Jr., and they weren't convinced that Desmond Bane was the optimal partner to maximize the team ceiling. The potential $200 million-plus max contract extension for Jackson Jr. would also significantly handicap any team's future salary cap flexibility, making it a commitment only the Grizzlies seem willing to make at this point. They chose to sell incredibly high on Bane to pave the way for Jackson's future. Jackson had arguably his best season, averaging 22.2 points and 5.6 rebounds per game, while making a massive jump in efficiency. While his shot-blocking numbers aren't quite at the elite levels they were when he won DPOY, and he still has a tendency to pick up fouls, the Grizzlies clearly see him as their franchise cornerstone. So, for Lakers fans hoping for a dynamic two-way big man to pair with Dončić, it appears Jackson Jr. is firmly off the table. So, what does this all mean for the Lakers? On one hand, they're being linked to a former rival's gritty guard, a player who could provide defensive toughness if healthy. On the other, a significant long-term solution at center seems out of reach. It paints a picture of a team grappling with immediate needs and limited long-term options. The Lakers' offseason appears to be a blend of desperation and deliberation. They desperately need to fix a roster that looked flawed, even with two of the game's biggest stars. Yet, they must deliberate carefully, making moves that enhance their championship aspirations without sacrificing their future entirely. The allure of a player like Marcus Smart is understandable, given his defensive prowess and winning pedigree. But the health concerns are real, and the financial implications of adding an aging, oft-injured guard can't be ignored. The biggest takeaway here is the Lakers' unwavering commitment to finding solutions. They're not content to simply run it back. They are actively seeking improvements, no matter how unconventional or surprising the targets may be. The NBA offseason is a wild ride, and the Lakers are just getting started. Will they pull off a surprising deal for Marcus Smart, bringing a touch of Celtics grit to Hollywood? Or will they pivot to other targets, perhaps less controversial but equally impactful? And how will they address that gaping hole at center, especially with a talent like Jaren Jackson Jr. now seemingly unattainable? This is the drama, the speculation, and the sheer audacity that makes the NBA offseason so captivating. What do you think about these latest Lakers rumors? Does a Marcus Smart trade make sense, despite his injury history? Or should the Lakers look elsewhere for their much-needed improvements? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get this discussion going. If you found this deep dive into the Lakers offseason intriguing, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more exclusive reports and analysis, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Your engagement fuels this channel, and we want to hear from every single one of you. Don't be shy. Join the conversation.